Wow. Okay. So, hello. This is something a little bit different, something that we don't normally do on here. Our channel is a lot about video games, but today I couldn't resist, man. I had to come on here and talk about the Game of Thrones episode. It's currently 9:52 p.m. where I live. I just finished the episode, and literally like 3 minutes later, I have a headache tonight. I have a stomach ache, and I was about to go to bed. I have work early in the morning, and I'm like, no, I gotta get my thoughts out. I need to talk to somebody about this, and I figure this is, a pretty good platform to talk about my emotions on this episode. But oh my god, dude, I'm speechless, which is ironic because I want to talk about this. But first of all, season 8 as a whole, because I haven't done a video like this before, hasn't been the best, right? It's definitely felt rushed. I don't hate the writing and the storytelling the way other people do. I don't think it's been that bad. Has it been like Game of Thrones standards? No, but it's still been like incredible. It just hasn't been the level that Game of Thrones has been, but it's still been a very enjoyable season. This episode definitely did not have the best writing, but as far as the design goes, it felt like classic Game of Thrones. The rest of the season felt like it was being a little more mainstream. This episode went back to what Game of Thrones is supposed to be, I think. As far as Daenerys goes, right? Because I'm trying to react to people's reactions more than the episode. The first thing I noticed is a lot of people were saying, this is so frustrating. They ruined Daenerys' character. I don't feel like they did. In fact, to me, I almost feel like it was the opposites. The past few episodes, you could kind of tell Daenerys was going to go down this road. I didn't think she was going to get as insane as she did, where she would intentionally kill citizens. I thought what she was going to do was, I'm going to go and kill Cersei no matter who dies in the path. I didn't think she would intentionally try to kill off every citizen in King's Landing, which it seemed like that was her mission at this point, was just to murder every innocent person she could find. It felt like Grand Theft Auto all of a sudden out there. I didn't expect that, but I'm also not surprised that that's what happened. I feel like leading up to this, she was becoming very jealous of Jon Snow. It seemed like her one mission was to prove that she could be the leader. And then I think she realized that she wasn't going to be. I think she realized Jon Snow was going to be the better king, and he was supposed to be king. So before she had a legitimate claim to the throne where she could say, hey, I'm a Targaryen, it was a lot easier for her to be cool. I think ever since she found out about the Jon Snow thing, and ever since she saw that the people in Westeros didn't really love her, I think it made her snap. And so, from my perspective, I'm not shocked and I'm not disappointed that she turned. I'm disappointed in her. I'm not disappointed in the show. I'm actually kind of glad the show went that direction because it broke my heart, but it's not unbelievable, if that makes sense. So I think it was good writing. As far as that goes, I have no issue with them turning Daenerys evil. But man, it was a plot twist regardless. It was an expected one, but it was one you hoping wouldn't happen, right? What I was hoping is that Cersei had some backup plan. The dragon was going to die, something along those lines. I was hoping that's where the issue would be. That wasn't, right? Obviously, the Iron Fleet got wrecked. The little fight between Euron Greyjoy and Jaime Lannister was cool to watch, but, the Lannisters stood no chance. King's Landing stood no chance. That pretty much went as expected. And when they were winning the battle, I kind of started to feel like, man, this was boring. This went pretty much how the characters expected it to go. And so I wasn't too thrilled with how it was going anyway. So when Daenerys decided to turn on them and not accept their surrender, that's all of a sudden when I started waking up a little bit. And I'm like, whoa, this is going a weird turn. What I am grateful for is that Jon Snow, expectedly so, did not follow in Daenerys' footsteps. He kind of was at the beginning a little bit where he was killing off a couple of the Lannister guards, but, he did kill that one. I think it looked like a Winterfell soldier that he killed. I couldn't tell. Maybe it was an Unsullied. I couldn't really tell, but he killed somebody that was about to kill that one innocent lady in the street. Again, I'm not showing any footage of this. I'm just showing video Game of Thrones footage because I don't want to get copyright striked at all. But I don't know. It's like, it felt genuine, but it also felt horrible, right? And that's what Game of Thrones is all about, right? Way back to when it was Joffrey and Ramsay, where you had bad guys winning battles left and right. That's kind of what this episode reminded me of. It was, you don't want Daenerys to win all of a sudden, but she's going to win, and she's going to kill everybody, and no one is going to stop her. That's what that episode was. So, was it disappointing? No, not to me. What's disappointing is there's one episode left. What I would really like there to be is 2 80-minute episodes, one where they sort of reel in from this, right? We really get to see the repercussions of these actions, right? Daenerys, we see her reaction to it, whether she's proud of what she did or disappointed, whatever. We can see what Grey Worm feels. We can see what Jon Snow feels, Arya, all of them. And then the episode after that is maybe a battle between like Arya and Daenerys, or maybe Jon Snow decides to turn on her and fight for the throne finally. I don't know. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case, right? It's just going to be one episode boiled together, and so it's going to be rushed, which is unfortunate. I feel like that's safe to say that this last episode is going to go by way faster than it probably should, which is disappointing. I want them to really soak in what happened at King's Landing. I mean, I guess you could have 40 minutes of soaking it in and then 40 minutes of a battle, but to me that doesn't seem long enough. I don't know. They've done an excellent job with the show up to this point. I'm not going to question it. I'm hoping this last episode is not a disappointment. I guess, I don't want this to drag on too long. I guess I'll give some predictions for what I want to see in the next episode. Oh, first of all, one other thing I wanted to say is if they had killed Arya, I would have died inside. Arya is my favorite character. She's the only character left I care about. Jon Snow could have died, and I would not have cared that much. I just did not want to see Arya Stark die. She's literally the only character I care about left. I think a lot of people feel that way. I've always been a fan of Arya. I think a lot of people have kind of been a fan of her from day one. I was one of those people. Like from the very first episode, I loved her character. I loved who she was. I hated that little bit in between where she was stuck with. I don't remember his name, but the guy that was with the god of death or whatever, the man of many faces. So I hated that little bit because I wanted to see her get back in the action. But ever since then, man, she's been wrecking house. So if she had died, and there were multiple times I thought she was going to die, I would have lost my mind. I probably would have almost had a hard time watching the finale. I hope she sits on the Iron Throne. Probably won't happen. At this point, I'm kind of hoping it's Sansa. I think Sansa deserves it because she's the only one that saw through Daenerys, because Lord knows we didn't. Everyone that's frustrated obviously didn't see what Sansa saw. So anyway, as far as predictions for the last episode goes, these are less predictions and more what I want to happen. I want to see Arya kill Daenerys, obviously, right? Or more so, I would like to see Sansa do it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I can't imagine Sansa is going to get that kill because Sansa's all the way in Winterfell. I don't know. What I'm hoping happens is maybe Jon Snow figures something out. Daenerys dies by Arya's hand. Jon Snow says, look, I don't want it. Sansa, she's a great leader. She was going to be queen anyway. Let's put her on the throne. Do I anticipate that happening? No, that's a perfect ending, and that's not going to happen. Daenerys, I think, is most likely to die in the next episode. I think after what she did, she can't stay alive, and she certainly can't be queen of Westeros after what she did. And so I can't imagine she's going to live. Grey Worm, I feel like, is going to die as well. I think he's going to be loyal to his queen, and I think Grey Worm's going to die in this episode as well. I don't know how. Maybe by Jon Snow's hand. I don't know. That would be my guess, is maybe Jon Snow or maybe Sir Devos. I could see him maybe killing Grey Worm. So let's say Sir Devos kills Grey Worm. Arya kills Daenerys. Arya might die. Arya or Jon Snow. One of those two, I think, is going to die in this episode as well, which makes me sad. But I can't imagine both heroes are going to come out of this one alive, right? It seems unlikely that all the heroes now are going to come out safe. Which is weird to say. This episode actually didn't see a lot of heroes die. I guess Jaime and Cersei were the biggest ones. I guess the Hound was a big one. But we still really didn't see any major character deaths that were unexpected. Cersei was kind of expected. Jaime Lannister was kind of expected. Euron Greyjoy was expected because it was everyone that was on the losing side of the war, right? And Jaime, we knew, was kind of going to turn face a little bit and die with Cersei. So there were kind of a lot of expected deaths, to be completely honest with you. I guess the citizens of King's Landing were not completely expected. I have a feeling this last episode is going to have a lot of unexpected deaths, and someone has to have an honorable death. Jon Snow would make the most sense. It's hard for me to imagine that Jon Snow and Arya both come out alive. They're both fan favorites. One of them has to die for the sake of kind of an emotional struggle there. I don't know which one. I'm hoping it's Jon Snow. I'd rather see Arya survive and maybe the female Starks kind of, take over Westeros. I think that would be cool if Sansa and Tyrion end up on the throne together. That would be a nice little ending, wouldn't it? I don't know. Again, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm very tired. This is not some sort of official recap. I just kind of wanted to give out my emotions after seeing that episode. This is not going to be well edited. I just wanted to put this up, and if you guys have any opinions and thoughts on the episode, again, this is spoiler danger zone, right? So if you want to talk about spoilers in the comment section below, be my guest. I'm going to leave a warning in the title and stuff, so leave me questions about the episode, or if you want to discuss things. Tomorrow at work, I'd love to just have a comment section filled with questions to answer and get into discussions about what we think is going to happen. So I'd love to hear your reactions to this episode. Again, I liked it. Wasn't the best, but it was back to old Game of Thrones a bit, so I enjoyed that. I'm hoping episode 6 isn't rushed, but let's be honest, it's going to be. I can't imagine it being any other way, considering how it's going to be constructed. We shall see. So again, let me know in the comment section below what you think is going to happen in episode 6, what you think is going to happen in the finale of Game of Thrones, and what you thought of the last episode. Thanks everybody for watching this. I rambled for a very long time. This is Mike. Bye-bye.